Let's look at the spray pattern, boys. Aww. Hello gamers, today we're going to be reviewing every 100 round gun in Phantom Forces. Make sure to leave a sub and like if you enjoyed, and comment if I forgot something. I don't think I did, but if I did, please make sure to leave a comment. Starting it off, we have the M60. The M60 was insane up until probably October of last year, and then it got a huge nerf that lowered its RPM and gave it a lot more recoil, and then it was not quite as good. People didn't really use it anymore. It used to be just abused. And then for some reason, after a few months, stylists just gave it another nerf, and it's like, why do they do that? I don't really know why. So now it has a ton of recoil and does 24 minimum damage. It does less minimum damage than the HK21 and shoots like 250 RPM slower, and it only does like one more maximum damage than the HK21. They completely nerfed this gun into the ground, but it does have 100 rounds, so obviously it's going to go in this video. It still kills people. It still does like 40 damage, which is pretty high, and it does have pretty good damage ranges, suppression, but it's nowhere near as good as it was before. Not even close. It went from like an S tier to like maybe a B tier to like a C tier now. Like, you can still pretty easily kill people. It has 100 rounds, but it's really sad. I don't know. This gun was really cool to me. I didn't have like a ton of kills. I didn't really abuse it that much. I probably had like 700 before it got nerfed. Using the M60, that's not a lot. It's still a funny LMG. I like it still, but it's just bad now. Also, you heavily risk getting vote kicked when you use this thing. Like 100%, you're just gonna get vote kicked the second you pull this thing. Oh my gosh, they nerfed the max damage too. It literally does the same damage as the HK21, but less in LRC, and has more recoil like per shot and less RPM. That's so weird. Next up is the MG36. Make sure to run the 300 conversion on this. This is one of the few 100 round guns that you can actually put a +1 in. I don't think you can do it on the M231. You can't do it on the M60 or the HK21. Now the Scar Hammer is just kind of not that good anymore. I think this is probably, other than the Scar Hammer, and maybe of the LMG ones, this is definitely the quickest reloading one. The other ones are the HK21. Well, actually, no, the Scar Hammer is in the LMGs. I forgot. This thing is really solid, especially if you put 300 blackout conversion. It just makes it directly upgraded. Really solid. It 3 hits not that far, but it does shoot pretty fast, has pretty low recoil, 100 rounds, really quick reload time. It's really good. In fact, this gun is kind of slept on, and now I might not put it in the lowest spot because they sort of nerfed / buffed, basically just changed the 300 blackout. They didn't nerf the minimum damage, but increased the max damage, but made it only to 30 studs instead of 40. Might have to remake my LMG ranking video because there's been a lot of changes. But of course, with any 100 round drum, doesn't matter what gun you're using, you're gonna pop off with it. Even the M60, which is like probably the worst one of these, I can still pop off with. It's literally a 100 round drum gun. Like, how are you not gonna just go off with this thing? Next up is the HK21. I voiced everything about this gun before. In fact, I might even still pick the M60 over it, even though it's better than the M60. I just don't like the gun. The recoil is whack. I could use alt-aim, but whatever, dude. I still don't like the recoil. It's still really, really solid, though. Like, it's a little bit overrated. It went in my overrated guns video, but honestly, it's not terrible. I had some people in my community section give me loadouts for this a while back, but maybe I will actually use them now for video. Maybe I'll use some cursed ones along with some actually good ones and see if I can maybe start liking this gun more. I don't know. If I really wanted to just go off in every single game that I played, I would probably just run only 100 round drum guns. You cannot possibly go wrong with a gun with 100 bullets. It doesn't even matter which of the guns it is. I can still pop off with it. It's got 100 rounds. Fun fact about the MG3 KWS, it actually had a 100 round drum mag in the test place at one point. It got removed like almost immediately because it was so insanely overpowered. It made this gun actually really, really good. The Scar Hammer does have this 9mm conversion that makes it a 100 round drum gun, and people really, really like this. I don't think it's like anything too insanely good. It does really low damage. Obviously the Scar Hammer got its nerf, and I don't know if they nerfed the 9mm conversion, but maybe I could could put like long barrel on here and 9mm conversion, and if I put some thinking into it, maybe it actually makes this gun pretty good again. Because I'm not sure that what they did with this conversion. Obviously, I'm doing like no damage to any of these people, but it doubles the magazine capacity when you put 9mm on it. So I don't know. Like the recoil doesn't really feel that good still. Even though it's a 9mm gun now, it doesn't really feel like, it's a 100 round 9mm gun. That's really large. Like, shouldn't it not have as much recoil as it does? But maybe that would be really broken if it did. The 9mm conversion doesn't just increase magazine capacity, it makes you have this insane RPM boost. Like, I could run muzzle booster plus 9mm and probably get like 100, 150 more RPM. Of course, it has no pen though. I wish you could run an ammo conversion like 9mm and still get AP, but there's no way with how the attachments currently work that would happen. Did 56 damage to that guy, nice. Aww. So we're gonna go to the test place and we're gonna use the final two guns here. Let's go to carbine first, because the HK51B does 41 to 22, has 950 RPM. I know I could have gone to the test place last time for this, but holy, this gun, I don't know about this gun, dude. See, it's got a lot of bullets, but it's got a lot of recoil. It does really high CQC damage, but it doesn't really do it that far, and the minimum damage is kind of eh. Maybe with a really insane loadout, like maybe muffler or something, just to get the RPM down a little bit, it could be good. But the thing is, it's like, you may as well just use the HK21 if you're gonna use like muffler on this thing. Because they have like same CQC shots to kill, except this one has worse LRC shots to kill by a lot. It does like 7 less damage. I don't know. It has a lot of recoil, dude. Even alt aiming, it's like, it's just insane. If you want to see compared to the HK21, I can do that. I don't really see this gun get used at all. Maybe because it's such high rank, maybe because it's not that good. I have 11 kills on it in the main game when I didn't pre-buy it, so I must have picked it up at least like once. Dude, it's so dark in here. Let's look at the spray pattern, boys. It's terrible. Okay, so this reloads in 6.7 seconds, and the HK21 reloads in 7.2 seconds. So it's like a 0.5 second difference. You're not going to notice it. It's just a belt-fed MP5 is what it looks like. Look, MP5, belt-fed MP5. Oh, it has an extend stock. Boom, MP5. All right, on to the final gun, the funny gun, the gun you've all been waiting for. It's the M231, the M855 conversion. Does this load a +1? No, it doesn't. So the only ones that can are the Scar HAMR 9mm and the MG36. It looks like the exact same thing as the Scar HAMR's 9mm conversion, but I think it reloads slower, or at least it looks like it does. It makes your damage in CQC 34 and your damage in LRC 19. So it's 6 hits in LRC instead of 4 hits in LRC. It can 3 hit like half as far, but it gets a 100 round drum. It also gets this really stupid like RNG to its spray patterns. If you can tell, like, it's just going everywhere. Doesn't normally do that, dude. I wouldn't recommend M855 like at all, because there's really no point to it. I think your vertical recoil is a little bit less, but it doesn't matter. Your recoil just is all over the place. It's probably less accurate overall than the regular M231. It also does way less damage, and the damage ranges suck. The muzzle velocity sucks. Yeah, it goes up to here, right? But you can tell, like, the vertical or the horizontal spray patterns are like so much more accurate if you just pull down and you have like a compensator or something. And I had a compensator on that loadout and it didn't matter. It did nothing to it. So yeah, that's every 100 round gun reviewed. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and a sub, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.